Hi, you're watching my 6-string journey. I'm Cypher, and in this video I'm going to talk about my lesson 23, which didn't happen. I'll explain more in just a moment. You're watching my 6-string journey, and on this channel I'm documenting my journey learning to play the electric guitar, my highs, my lows, the gear that I use, reviews of my professional lessons, and today it's going to be more about lows. This is all about lesson 23, which was due to take place on the 24th of June 2020. It would have been day 344, and at that point I'd done about 96 hours worth of practice. Now this is the lesson that never really happened. I've been working really hard on the chord changes over the last couple of weeks. Put in around about 12 or 13 hours, roughly about that. Not all of it was logged. I did do more than I'd logged, primarily because it wasn't always overly productive sessions, the practice sessions, so I haven't logged all of them, but I've probably done getting on for 12 or 13 hours, and I feel that I've pretty much plateaued. It's been really difficult just doing the chord changes for hour after hour, doing them until your fingers hurt, but the YouTube channel has been brilliant because I've been looking back over the last few weeks at my practice, in particularly the lesson reviews, and I can see that there are very small improvements in the chord changes. The C chord that I was really struggling with I can make fairly quickly now, but transitioning from one chord to the other chord is still pretty difficult for me. These old stiff fingers of mine, it's like trying to teach old dogs new tricks. They don't always want to work as quick as my brain wants to work, and certainly not as fast as the backing tracks I'm trying to play along to work. So yeah, that's been a root of frustration or cause of frustration, and whilst I feel as if I've plateaued, I haven't really. I am making very small steps forward, and I've got to continue with that. One of the other things that got me in a bad state of mind with regards to practicing a lessons was we're coming out of lockdown. We're still in lockdown. Desperately want to get my hair cut. Before long I'm going to look like David Gilmour in the 70s. Unfortunately I'll never be able to play like him, but maybe if my hair grows much longer then that'll be the case. But as we're coming out of lockdown, some of the pain is starting to kick in, and that pain has been felt. We learnt that Joanna is under threat of redundancy. It now looks like she might be keeping her job because it's still in the restructuring, but it does look like a big 25% reduction in salary, which is going to be a big hit on the finances. And when you've got to start cutting back, like many of us are, one of the first things that goes is hobbies and interests. And I was talking to Michael about this being the last of my professional lessons with him. So that obviously took up quite a bit of the lesson. So once we got that out of the way, I went through how I've been doing. I went through the pentatonic scale with him, and I went through playing the chords and the chord changes, just using the single beat strum rather than the proper strumming pattern for Heroes. And yeah, he was very positive. He says that I was definitely making progress. He'd seen an improvement since the last lesson, and obviously he was disappointed that I would be taking a step back from those lessons. And to be fair to him, and I really did appreciate this, he did ask to stay in touch, and he said that he would be available for questions, and if I wanted to send him videos where I was having trouble, or I wanted to take the odd lesson at reduced cost, then all of these things were open. Quite clearly a lot of people out there are struggling, and I happen to know that people that do private tuition, both in music and other sectors, they're all struggling at the moment. They can't do face-to-face lessons. And I think the face-to-face lessons, not being able to have those with Michael has hurt a bit. Yeah, we tried to do as many lessons over Skype as we could, but it's not quite the same as somebody being right next to you and looking around and seeing exactly what's what. And you know, Skype and online is great for keeping in touch and for keeping the progress going, but it's not as good as being together. So I think again, part of my frustration with these chord changes is being not able to actually sit down with Michael and really talk and investigate why I'm struggling so much. It might just be practice, it might just be time. You know, I've got to bear in mind I am the wrong side of 50, and all of this channel is about whether you can do this wrong side of 50. My fingers aren't quite as nimble as they used to be. It does take me longer to learn things than it used to, and you know, that just might be that I need that encouragement. And talking about encouragement, the encouragement that I get from the channel is massive. It really, really is very, very much appreciated. So obviously at the end of that lesson, I decided that that was it, and we called it a day for a short while. And I started to look at how I could continue this journey, because I definitely want to continue it. And I started to look back at online lessons. I looked at Musician because I could possibly get a free trial on that for a time. And I also looked at Justin Guitar. Now Justin Guitar is in the process, or Justin Sandico is in the process of rewriting his course, which is a very, very good online course. And while I was going through the first set of lessons and just reviewing what I've done and just seeing if there's any more tips I can pick up, and you know, throughout this journey, Justin has been a site that I've gone to regularly just to back up the professional lessons. But I was working through there, and you can sign up to his website and you can get access to a whole practice module, which I have done, and I have set up a practice routine and statistics, and it's really nice, and I will cover that in another video which I'm in the process of planning. So I'll probably video one of my complete practice sessions and show how I've set up the practice module on his website and how I'm using that. It's really very, very, very good. So jump forward to the weekend, Sunday now. So I had a few days to just think things over. And one of the things that I realised is this whole YouTube channel, this whole journey, or this part of my journey, is all about my professional lessons and how they're helping me to get over the hurdles and keep moving forwards. And there's quite a lot of people that have recently started to follow me because of that angle. They're learning a lot from my experiences and from obviously what Michael is teaching me. And there are quite a few people that are following along, and you know, big shout out to those guys. Thank you for following me, and you know, just coming along this journey. It's really great to have you along, and if you can pick up something from this channel, then my job is done, and it's an extra benefit over and above me using it as a diary, as it were. Now, the channel isn't always just going to be about the professional lessons. You know, I'm hoping to go on and find my style, and I've already got some plans for the channel once I become a little bit more proficient and I can maybe create my own content. But for the moment, it's very much about the professional lessons. And I sat down and spoke to the family about this as well, and my wife and my two daughters are very keen for me to carry on. They know how much I enjoy it, and they want me to carry on with the lessons. So because of that, the way that the channel is going, the encouragement that I get from everybody that subscribes and comments on the channel, I actually contacted Michael and said, can we carry on? And that's what we're going to do now. We are actually going to carry on with the professional lessons for as long as I can afford to do them. I'm going to work harder and put more time into the YouTube channel, and see if we can use that to help, and just find different ways of financing the lessons. The photography is coming back up again, which is nice. Been photographing a few houses this week, That does impact on my free time for practice, but it is bringing in a few pennies that I can put into lessons. So that's where we're at really. So yeah, 24th of June was a lesson that didn't happen. Literally I ran through the pentatonic scale once or twice. I ran through the chord changes for Heroes once. I was hot, bothered, frustrated, down, and really was in no mood for a lesson or for learning anything new. I think Michael picked that up very quickly. It was all very negative and we moved on. Since then, over the weekend and since working with the practice routine on Justin's website, I have become a lot more positive. I've become more motivated, and yesterday I must have spent about 45 minutes I think practicing, and I actually felt that the chord changes were getting a little bit better. So I think state of mind, when you are plateaued and when you're struggling, state of mind is massive. And I just want to thank everybody that has helped me to get my state of mind back in a more positive position, and hopefully the next few lessons will show, and maybe by the next lesson, which I'm probably going to call lesson 23 as well, again, because lesson 23 didn't really happen, but I'm hoping by that lesson I will be able to strum along to a backing track for Heroes. That is my main motivation right now, and you'll see that from the practice regime that I've put together. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate your time. Thank you everybody that is supporting the channel at the moment. If you haven't already subscribed, please consider hitting the subscribe button and supporting the channel. And probably not a lot to like in this video, but if you do like this video, please hit the like button. It does help with the YouTube algorithm. Anyway, that's it for now. The rain is about to start in the conservatory, so there's going to be a load of noise. And I will be producing another video later on this afternoon, which I'm going to be talking about my aspirations and my inspirations, something that somebody was asking me about a couple of weeks ago. Giving that one some thought and put what I think might be quite an interesting video together. So hit the bell button to get notification of when that video goes up, and I'll see you again very soon. Take care. Bye bye.